Bam, how's everybody doing today? Hope everybody had a great day. And I really hope all of you made some serious money in the market today just following some basic DR rules. All right. So, you know what we do, guys? Let's talk about it. All right. So, um, let's go. You know what? We're going to start back because today was just that day, right? And it started last night with the Asian session. So, I won't spend much time on this one, but like Asian last night, we had a very clean DR setup last night. So, closed low here, retrace back up right above the IDR. And again, this is a small range, not gonna worry about it, but it's a tiny range. But you see what happens. Went above the IDR. All right, order placed. You could put your order on IDR or DR. All right, so if you call it the IDR, great. If you call it the DR, great. And then boom, there you go. All right. So I started out this morning up 10 points on the market. So that was actually a great no stress way to play it out today, right? So pretty easy. And if you were really adventurous, you could have actually just held that and let it play itself all the way out till like 2 in the morning, right? So which again, that's 10 points is good for me. I'm not trying to be greedy, but I'll take what I can get when I can get it. All right. So anyway, so that was the Asian. Now I did not play London. I was asleep, but woke up to some of my friends and fellow traders saying like, "Oh, we're up for London," and you can kind of see what happened with London. Same kind of deal, right? So we confirmed high, retraced back down. We didn't go all the way down to IDR, which again, IDR and DR are basically on the same line. As you can see, see those two together. Um, but you had a couple times, let me get this out of the way so you can see, you had a couple times where, we went up, confirmed, had a small retrace, went up some more, had another retrace. You kind of had two opportunities there to grab that. But that's, 4:30 in the morning Eastern time. Yeah, no, nah, I'm an early riser, but not that early, right? But you can see what happens. Easy, probably 5 points there, comes down again, and you kind of see how that played itself out. And if you're being aggressive, you could have, what's that about? Gosh, 53, 73, that's at least 20 points if you'd played it all the way up. So, there again, just a nice, easy trade. So, DR has been delivering, since ADR last night. All right, so let's go to the big boy, which is our RDR, which is our New York session. All right, so let's talk about it. Um, all right, so let's go. Let's look at what we got from range standpoint here. So let's say 54 up to 83. So almost 30 points. So pretty huge range, um, which sometimes gets us in trouble because, we tend to we could be range bound because there's so much space in between. Price could easily, kind of do this movement where in between the range and you never, confirm either way, right? So that's a possibility. So you got to look out for that. That's why I do like that 16 to 20 point range because that most of the time when I'm at, and if you're in 16 to 20 points, it's not going to, it's not going to just kind of stay in that same range, right? It's not going to consolidate all day. It'll move a little bit more, but regardless. Okay. So let's talk about what happened today and we'll go through the easy one first. Again, we had this movement, the setup wasn't, let me back up so we can see it here a little bit. Hold on, and make it a little bigger. All right. Okay. So we started out above midnight for New York session. Um, we came down. I keep hitting the wrong button. Sorry, guys. All right. So we came down. There's our, we went back up again. There's our 10 o'clock move, right? Kind of clockwork. Comes back down again. So and then we started moving up, down. So once we got into the setup, I did what I normally do. Like I set my alerts because at 10:30 I'm either busy or especially on a Wednesday I'm going into a meeting or I'm doing something. Right, I can't not staring at the chart, and so we didn't confirm to almost 12 o'clock. All right, so I chuckle because we confirmed, right? It went up and we came down, and I went to lunch. We confirmed down here. I went to lunch somewhere around a little after 12. but I saw it. We had, retraced back down below DR. I was like, well, I'm just gonna throw my order on like I normally do, right? Follow my rules. And I kind of, went downstairs and took the elevator down and got my food and, sat down. Had a couple of teammates I was eating with today. So by the time I looked up, I had already had gotten my 5 points. And I looked. I'm like, man, what happened to my order? Why is my order not on here? But really, what had happened, I had already closed out the 5 points, and so I was like, oh, okay, well, that's nice to be able to go to lunch and make some money while you're, getting your soup. So anyway, so that was the first one today. For from a New York perspective, again, really simple. You know, confirmation, right? A little bit of up movement, retrace down. You could have got in there. You could have waited, got in there. You could have got in here. You could have got in here. All those are viable entries because it's actually coming down below the DR and then moving back up. All right. So, and I'm not, there was no really any confluence today. There was no fair value gaps or anything close by that. And again, sometimes that's not going to happen. So you just got to take, you stick to the rules and whatever the market gives you, you take it, right? So again, now I'm looking, I'm basically a 1-to-1 on those trades. So either I'm going to, make 5 points, I'm going to lose 5 points. Okay. Either way, I'm okay with that. All right. So the next one was a little bit tricky, and this one was around 1 o'clock. And again, I'm really busy. So I had meetings, right? And so I saw price come back down, right? Well, I didn't see price come back down. Let me not say that. Whenever I finish a trade, I put my alerts back on, right? So I don't know if I've told you that before, but that's something I always do. I always go back and put my alerts back on, especially, if I know we've confirmed high and I'm waiting for a retrace, I could put my alerts back on the DR and then the IDR high, just so it'll tell me when to start paying attention again, right? So what I end up doing, price came down, didn't quite hit the IDR, right? And it was one of those things where it was like, I'm not sure I want to take that trade, right? And so I did put an order on DR, okay, on this green candle here when price went up. So I put an order on DR, and you see what happens, right? We kind of stayed still here, and then we just started coming back down. It tested it again there. Now here's where and this is probably just me having seen this so many times now. What I do when this happens to me in this consolidation area, and I can start recognizing it. What I'm going to do is when price came down, right? So I'm in on this candle. I'm up, price up here. I'm like, okay, I'm in. I got, a couple of ticks of profit. Price comes back down. I'm like, all right, so now I'm below profit. All right. And so I actually wait for the next candle. And I keep drawing that circle because it's getting in my way. But this candle now starts to move back up. And once it actually gets above this, where I got my entry, once it gets above that, I don't care if it's a tick or 2 ticks. I'm out. Okay. Because that's not, my wife let me know dinner's ready. That's awesome of her. Thank you, honey. But anyway, so that's not, it's just me. That's part of my risk management is this is now no longer really a good trade for me because I've sat through 10 minutes of price kind of doing this, right? And I'm not sure what it's going to do next. So it could just take off. And if it does that, I'll find another entry or I'll just wait for another trade, right? If it comes down, I'm saving myself some grief, right? So in this case, if I look at this, like the max I'm going to lose would have been this, whatever that is right there. That's about, let me see, 82, maybe 1.5, 2 points maybe. Right, that would have been the max out of loss because my stop loss is technically down here. I didn't want to wait for it to get there. So when I see it poke its head back up here above my entry point, I'm okay with just taking that trade, taking it off, okay? So literally, I have no idea. I didn't even look at the P&L on that one to see what it was, but I know it was positive. It was, again, it might have been, $12, $9 after commissions, but yeah, it was. So it wasn't anything I was, going to get myself all caught up in, right? So anyway, so we start to make this move back down or move down. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see where it goes, right? Because now at this point, once it comes down here, Okay, once it's in this range, I already have an order set right here, waiting. Okay, because I'm waiting for a price to come back up and shoot through that and pick me and take me all the way up. Okay, all right, so that doesn't happen. Okay, remember we're on a ladder, right? So ladder one, rung two, rung three is down here, right? Rung four and five will be down there and at the low side. But so I have an order on rung two. Let's call it rung two for lack of a better, just for what to call it, right? That's one. This is two. I have an order on rung two, so I'm waiting for price to go back up to rung two. If it doesn't, and it comes down below rung three, right, like it did over here, now guess what I have? I have an order on rung three. Now, here's where it gets interesting for me because, like, we went down below the 0.5 fib, which is that blue line, right? That's what we're looking for. It went down and just ran right back up. Didn't even give me a chance to put my order on there, right? Because I don't put my order on beforehand. I put my order on after it makes the move, for me to put the order there so I can get picked up going in this motion. Okay, I don't want to put an order on to get picked up in this motion or that movement because I don't know how far down this is going to be. Okay, easy way to get stopped out because you're not sure. All right. And then also, what's the color of that candle? What movement is it making, right? So in this scenario, when price comes down below and it starts to move back up, right, I can then say with a little bit of confidence that, at least I know if I get picked up going, this direction, then the risk that I have will be down here, and I'm not immediately at risk of getting stopped out. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. All right, so. But I think that's just the way I do it. Some people will do it completely different. That's just the way I do it to protect myself. So like in this case, when in this candle price came back. And so now I will say I saw this, right? Because again, I have my alert set on that line as well, right? That's another one of my alert lines. I see this and I see it shoot back up. I'm like, oh well. And I see it come back down. I'm like, oh, so glad I didn't take that. Then I see it shoot back up. I'm like, man, I should have took that. All right, that's 5 points easy right there. All right, so then we come back down again. I'm like, this time if it comes down and it goes below, I'm gonna go ahead and just jump on that trade, right? And so here's where we know we had fun today, with this trade right here. And you see what happened. We went down below, way below. Went down about a point, 2 points below. So now my order's set on 0.5 fib, right? Price comes back up, picks me up. This gonna come down a little bit, but then it starts to shoot back up. I'm like, okay, cool. I see the 5 points. I get the 5 points too quick, and I was like, yeah, let me move up to 10. Okay, so I move my take profit up to 10. Okay, I move my stop loss. My stop loss was down here, 5 points below. Now my stop loss is up here, about 2.5 points or 3 points above. Okay, so I don't get stopped out there, right? Thank goodness, 'cause I almost did. But my stop loss is here now, and I move it from there to there to protect myself, right? But now, every time this starts to move, I move this up, right? I move my take profit up. I just stair step it, move my stop loss up. Take profit moves up, stop loss moves up. I get up here to about 3 o'clock, and I said, okay, now this blue line is at 42.68. So now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, I'm up here. I already have 20 points locked in. And what I mean by locked in is, oops, sorry guys, dropped my little stylus thing in here. Okay. And what I mean by locked in is, it's funny, my friends, one of my channels call it the Robinson 5 method, because I was talking about doing this, is I move my take profit up. Again, it's my stair step, right? I move my take profit up, I move my stop loss up. Move my take profit up, move my stop loss. As price is moving, right, through this zone, I'm moving with it, okay? Each time, all right? So, I suck at drawing, but you guys get the idea, hopefully. So here I'm moving up. So I get to about 20 points. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I got to 22 points because I got to 20 points and I was like, man, I got to go to a meeting at 3. So let me hurry up and set myself a stop loss and a take profit. So I said, okay, one or two things is going to happen. I'm either going to take it out at 42.98, which would have been 30 points, okay, which is up here, or I'm going to get stopped out at 42.92, I believe. Because that's 40. Yeah, it was 42.92, right? So it was like I had a 6 point kind of buffer between the two, and and then I just basically shut the trade down and went and did what I had to do. Came back, the trade was gone. Looked at the P&L, and we had gotten the 42.98. So that was, you can't get much better than that. I had a lot of fun with that one. Um, and again, hope you got a piece of these. This was, I saw people getting into this trade, here, right? Here's a fair value gap, bullish fair value gap. Okay, so that's another entry. If you missed the entry down here, if you weren't doing DR, if you're doing, ICT, and I'm sure there's some other ICT things you could have done in there, but that's one that I see, just evident. That's one. There's another one you could have gotten in, right? So there were a couple of entry points that you could have taken for that trade, but down here you couldn't get much better than that one. So really happy with how that played out. So that was today. So I mean, yeah, I have no reason to trade the rest of the week. I'll be honest to you. Yeah, today was good. So but doesn't mean I'm not going to trade tomorrow. But I don't have to. So we'll see what my day brings and what the market looks like. If it's choppy, then I'm not going to waste my time. If it gives me some clear direction like it did today, then I'll go ahead and continue to play it off and play what the market gives me tomorrow. Either way, I mean, if we have a decent DR day or way I can give a good recap, I'll do that anyway, whether I take the trades or not. I'll tell you guys when I'm not in the trade, or I'm just telling you what I would see after after I've taken my trade for the day or whatever the case may be. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful. Like I say, it was a lot of fun. Again, since last night, I've having fun. Too bad I had to sleep during London, but you gotta get your rest. So wasn't able to take that trade. But some days DR is hard to figure out and take good trades on, at least with the method I use. And then some days like today, it's just easy peasy, lemon squeezy, as they say. Excuse me. All right. So anyway, that's it, guys. I'm not gonna hold you up too much longer. But again, just love on your loved ones. You never know when you won't be able to do it again. So take advantage of the opportunity. Hearing too many friends and things saying, this person lost this person in my family. These people are sick, and so I pray for all y'all every day. Appreciate you guys spending some time, some of your time, listening to me talk about the strategy that still sometimes like, man, this is too good to be true, but it is true. All right. So anyway, that is that. You guys have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow. All right. God bless.